Welcome to my shop. I'm Mike Head and this is Round 2 Woodworks. The other day I was surfing around the wood shops on YouTube trying to find a few ideas, probably just exactly what you're doing right now. And I came across a channel called the Rockin' H Wood Shop. I believe the gentleman's name is Drew. But he was reviewing this Rockler universal small port hose kit for dust control. Now, if you've ever seen any of my videos, you know that I like a clean shop, and I'm telling you, there's nothing more frustrating than to try to use all these things to get down to whatever size you need or whatever to do a 5-minute sanding job. And usually what I do is I try to get it together, and after about 5 minutes or 10 minutes I get frustrated, put my dust mask on and do my 5 minutes worth of sanding. Which usually I regret, because then you got to clean your shop and wash your cars. So there's a good and bad to everything. So this seemed like a pretty good idea to me, and I thought you know, if it works like he said it did, I think it'll work. It'll fit in my shop real well. But now I'm the first to admit I don't like gadgets. You know, to me gadgets are like kitchen things. You know, pastas, cutters, or whatever that wind up at the thrift store in a year or so. And but sometimes a gadget will go over the line and turn into a viable tool, and I'm hoping this will. So now I want to say something right off. I don't work for Rockler. Rockler doesn't pay me anything. Why should they? But there's things that I like and or dislike, and that's what I'm going to share my experience with this. I do shop at Rockler. I gotta say, I do like it. It's only you know, 15 minutes up the 210 freeway, or Route 66 is about a mile that way. So if you like to cruise the route, it'd take about 40 minutes. And that's the close. I mean, if Woodcraft was over there, I'd probably go to Woodcraft, you know. But Rockler treats me nice, and that's why I shop mostly at Rockler, and that's why I do reviews mostly of Rockler things. But it's not saying that Highland Woodworking or Klingspor, you know, any of them are good. This just happens to be in my neighborhood, and I like supporting neighborhood stores. So let's open this thing up, see what we got. Well, first off is flex hose. My first impression is it's very sturdy hose, but another first impression is it's kind of heavy. We'll look at that a little farther. It looks to be about 3 foot coiled up. What else do we have here? We have, oh, there it is. I was going to say there should be 2 of these. We have 4 parts, and that's it. Obviously, they think you know how to handle it. And I guess these go in here like this. Whoop. Okay. Lefty, you know, it's usually righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. This is lefty-tighty. Or I guess if you went this way with the hose, it would be, no, it's still, yeah, it's backwards, so Instead of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's lefty-tighty. And you have, there's 2 diameters. And then there's, it looks like another one for this end, which will probably fit. No, it doesn't. It doesn't fit that. So I would have to see what this does. Okay, now then it'll fit. Lefty-tighty. It's much easier to do the other one because it's got a grip on it. Okay, there it is. Let me get some tools out, and you know, I think Rockin' H, I think he was working for Rockler. I think they were sponsoring him. So I'm gonna maybe see if we can find any negatives to this. So let me get some tools out and we'll go from there. You know, I wanted to show you something on this hose. I'm out to the edge of the garage door. Maybe 2 foot short. So that is a long hose. No wonder it's so heavy. Just for fun, let's see. I got a scale out now. Caveat: this scale may not be exact, but it's pretty close. This says this weighs 1 pound 10 ounces for this 3 foot flex. Now this is the hose that came off my shop vac. This one here. So let's see if we can see what this weighs. If I can keep it. Eight ounces. 8 ounces for this 6 foot. 1 pound 10 ounces for that. So I guess if you're sanding this way on the table, you know, it wouldn't be bad. But if you're trying to sand a side of a cabinet or something, you know, that's heavy. So what I may do, I may cut this puppy in half, then put one on each end so it's ready to go. I'm still thinking about that one. But let's see let's see how these things work on the tools. Okay, I got the large one on the end of the flex hose. This is the smaller one. So my first one is a Ryobi. This is the Ryobi. The small one will not fit at all. The large one, it fits, but I'm not sure that, well, that's pretty good. I guess that, you know, you got to really rough it. I mean, to me, there's nothing more frustrating than continually have to pick up the suction hose. So when I'm using the Ryobi, it'll push there. You can push it pretty hard. But if you're sanding a side cabinet, seems like this will work pretty good. You know, I might suggest if might buy one of those arms to hold the hose up. But for the Ryobi and the large one, looks good. The next one is a 3rd sheet sander. That's a smaller one, I can tell. And it fits the 3rd sheet. Actually, it's real tight. Okay, my skill, my 18-inch skill, I believe it is. Not 18, maybe 21. I can't remember. I know the small one, too small. You can see the tape I had on it trying to make up room for the last time. And this is loose. That won't work on this one. I'll have to do something else. So for skill, this ain't the one. Now here's a 3rd quarter sander. I don't even know. No name. But it's got an oblong one. So obviously this one won't work. Let's see if this does. Oh yeah, it's right over there. Oh yeah, that's on there real nice and tight. Yeah. It'll work on that. Beautiful. Okay, I guess now for my half sheet sander. I guess they don't even make these anymore, and it's too bad because I'll tell you, half sheet sander by far is my favorite. Let's see what this does. Oh yeah, that's if you could sand sideways, it's not going to go anywhere because, as I say, it is really frustrating to keep picking these things up and put them on your sander. Because on my bench, it goes to the big one, and then the smaller one goes in. So let's see about Porter cable. I think Porter cable will work fine with Porter cable. So that's another plus. And let's see about the biscuit. Way too big for that. I think it's too big for this too. Maybe not. No, not at all. This, that you don't have to move, you just do this. So you can see that's on there pretty tight. Now, my 12-inch disc sander and my spindle sander, the vacuum can just plug into it. So those are taken care of. It seems like it's pretty good, really. You know, I'm gonna have to play with it a little more, but so far I'm liking it. So I guess that's about it. Well, all right then. I think that this little small port's going to work real fine. I think I am going to cut it in half. I've already decided that, and I think that'll take a lot of weight off of it. And then I always plug into the larger hose, because this hose, before it goes to the vacuum, goes into the Dust Right separator. Now I don't know if Rockler owns Dust Right or if Dust Right's a separate company or anything, but I've learned that I won't suck anything directly into the vacuum. It's always got to go through this dust separator. Now I've used this or emptied this dust separator many times since last August. This is when I got it, last August, and I started using it. And I have used it many times, or emptied it many times. And I want to show you the vacuum on how well this thing works. Here's the vacuum. There's no dust in it because of the bag. Now this bag I've had in here literally since August. I haven't emptied this bag once, and I don't even think the bag is an eighth full. Not even an eighth full. And it used to be, before I got this shop vac, I had a rigid, and I was emptying that sucker once a week, banging out the filter, you know, making a dust storm. Well, look at this filter. That's from August. A little dust on the bag side, but all the other sides are I mean, for being almost a year old, 10 months, that's beautiful. And it doesn't slow the vacuum down at all. The other vacuum I had, after about 2 months, you could hear the vacuum straining, and that meant it was a new time for a new filter, which is minimum $30. So I had a video on this dust right separator, this one here, and I've got several not likes. Now I don't know if it's not likes because of the dust separator, because I also had a Harbor Freight blade sharpener on there. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't like the blade sharpener thing, because it's tricky. It really is. It's only good for 90-degree faces like this. 90-degree faces. If you're angled, you know, take it out and get your blade sharpened for 20 bucks at a professional. And if your blade's only worth 30 bucks, throw it away and get a good blade and have it sharpened. You'll appreciate it. But I think this little this small port thing is going to work great for me. I mean, as I say, now I think I can put my dust control to good use instead of having to clean my garage after every sanding. So anyway, that's my 2 bits on it. I saw Stumpy Nub's show yesterday, and they said that they mentioned they were going to do a review on it. But I'll see how they compare to mine. But I know that, you know, it seems a little pricey at 40 bucks. But if it helps keep your shop clean overall in the long run, I think it'll work. And it seems to work on most of my tools. So I think my shop is in for a little cleaner time, hopefully. Okay? Anyway, YouTube, I really appreciate you stopping by. I really do. And I wish you all the best. And until next time, you take care of yourselves.